After discussing 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈's health status with Mattsun, Iwaizumi and 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 headed to the gym. Iwaizumi worked out a perfect plan for 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 throughout Sunday, always keeping an eye on his health. In any case, he should not overdo it. Okay, let's warm up a bit first. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 nodded. They jogged a few laps in the gym, Iwaizumi always making sure 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 didn't strain his ankle. They did a few more exercises to warm up and then went to the ball cart. You good? 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 took a deep breath and nodded. Okay. Please try to do a normal serve. Let me know as soon as your foot feels strange in your flow. Okay. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 grabbed a ball and took a few steps back. His mood improved the moment he touched the volleyball. He hit the ball on the ground a few times and then looked at it in his hands for a while. Gosh, how I missed that. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 closed his eyes and brought the ball in front of his forehead. He blanked out everything else. He inhaled and exhaled deeply, then snapped his eyes open and threw the ball up in the air. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 took a few big steps and was ready to jump when Iwaizumi suddenly yelled at him. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 flinched and was completely confused. The ball fell back on his head. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 frowned and looked at Iwaizumi in annoyance. That would have been a perfect serve just now. A perfect serve. Perfect. The moment he looked into Iwaizumi's eyes, however, his expression changed immediately. He winced and looked at him nervously. Iwaizumi gave him a death stare, a ball ready in his hand to throw 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 off with. Normal serves. Iwaizumi now threw the ball that had been in his hand with full force at 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈, who tried to protect his head and body with his arms and legs. Ouch. Iwa-chan mean. I was pulled along by nostalgia, I couldn't help it. Iwaizumi clenched his hand into a fist and only replied pissed off. I swear 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈, if you do your own bidding soon your ankle won't be your only problem. You better do what I tell you. Eek. Yes sir. From then on, practice went pretty well. The harmony between 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 and Iwaizumi was just right when they played volleyball together. Iwaizumi had a good hand for 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 and his injury. They took many small breaks, which 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 really needed in the beginning. Another 2 weeks passed and 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 slowly regained his old form. Practicing with Iwaizumi was great. He really knew how to deal with 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈's injury. For 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 training with Iwaizumi was both a curse and a blessing. On the one hand, he enjoyed spending time with his best friend. He enjoyed finally being able to play volleyball with him again and share the passion. He just enjoyed having Iwaizumi around. On the other hand, it made his feelings for Iwaizumi grow stronger and stronger. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 tried to suppress these feelings as much as possible. The better 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 got, the more strenuous the training became. It was already evening and 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 was quite out of breath. He was panting and wiping the sweat from his face. Iwaizumi was also at his limits. It took him a lot of strength to keep up with 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈. Well, enough for today. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 stretched his back and frowned a little. I can still. No. Let's not overdo it. But. Iwaizumi flicked his fingers against 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈's forehead. Stop it. Mean. Come on, I'll help you stretch. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 pouted and followed Iwaizumi. He laid down on a mat and did some stretching exercises that Iwaizumi helped him with. It was the same every time. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 got incredibly nervous and had to hide his face somehow so that his blushing could not be seen. His heart was racing and heat was pooling in his gut. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 was lying on his back, one leg stretched out, the other pushed by Iwaizumi towards 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈's stomach. Their eyes met and 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 immediately blushed. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 crossed his arms in front of his face so he wouldn't have to look at Iwaizumi. Shit. Where is this going to end? He's so damn handsome. I can't believe how amazing you've gotten. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 took his arms off his face and looked at Iwaizumi in surprise. Iwaizumi looked into the distance and didn't even glance at 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈. Hey. Now he looked at him and grinned. You aren't even 100% healthy yet you're doing much better than you were 2 years ago. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 blushed. I guess hard training has paid off. I'm looking forward to when our team plays yours and I can see you in full action again. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 blushed even more. His look grew annoyed. He turned his head to the side and crossed his arms in front of his face again. But I don't want to leave you Iwa. Come on. Iwaizumi extended his hand to 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 to stand up and he took it. Time to shower. After practice, Iwaizumi and 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 spent the evening at Iwaizumi's apartment. 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 plopped down on the couch and was totally exhausted. You finish me off Iwa. Didn't you say earlier that you still had energy? Shall we continue? Iwaizumi blushed and slapped 𝒖𝒂𝒏𝒈 on the back of his head. Get some rest. Ouch. Yes sir. Iwaizumi was about to get something to eat when the doorbell rang. The two looked at each other in confusion and furrowed their brows. Are you expecting someone? Iwaizumi shook his head and opened the door. It was a buzzed Hanamaki and Mattsun. Maki raised a bottle of sake in the air and Mattsun just grinned. We all have a date with Mr. 𝒂𝒄 today. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 burst out laughing and invited the friends in. This meant trouble. Hanamaki flopped onto 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's lap and swung his arms around him. Mattsun sat down in the chair. Maki, are you drunk? 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 had to stifle a laugh. I'm just a little tipsy. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's mouth was slightly open in amusement. He smiled mischievously and looked at Mattsun with raised eyebrows. We were bored, so we played a drinking game. Besides, it's already late. Have you checked the time? True. It was almost 10:30 p.m. already. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 had not realized that they had been practicing for so long. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 got some snacks so that he and 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 would at least eat a little bit and then sat down on the couch as well. The friends goofed around and drank sake. Some time passed and both 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 and 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 could feel the alcohol kick in a little. They weren't drunk, but a little buzzed. Since they didn't really eat anything, it went pretty quickly. Damn guys, remember when we lost the last match as third-year students against Karasuno? Ha. Maki, don't remind us. Oh man, we all cried that day. Remember when I told you how you're going to be the annoying guy who chases volleyball forever? Yeah, you just had to throw in an insult every time. Maki chuckled and took another sip of sake. But after all, I guess Iwa was right. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 looked at Hanamaki with raised eyebrows. You are the annoying guy. Maki. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 and Mattsun had to laugh. Too bad you couldn't be at the meeting at 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒄 this time, Iwa. Next time we all have to play volleyball together again. But please without that annoying guy. I swear, Maki. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 chased Hanamaki through the living room. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 and Mattsun laughed at the two idiots. It was just after midnight and Mattsun took the chance to leave with Maki before Hanamaki did anything stupid. Shall we take you home, Carver? No, I'll help Iwa clean up and leave a little later. Hanamaki grinned at him mischievously and twitched his eyebrows. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 blushed. Okay, good, see you then. See you. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 and 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 cleaned up everything and then sat back on the couch for a while. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 was wearing a t-shirt and there were still a few bruises on his arms from the training in Argentina. They were no longer very visible and they didn't hurt anymore, but they still made 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 frown. What's up with those? 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 nodded at the bruises. Our 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 and I have been practicing on a new technique. The hell? I can't tell you much about it. We might try it out at the World Cup if we have it worked out by then. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 gave 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 a skeptical look and then looked at the bruises again. They don't hurt at all anymore. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 slid closer to 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅, took his hand and extended his arm. With his other hand he brushed over the bruises and examined them. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 blushed like hell. His eyes widened and his heart raced. When was the last time 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 had touched him so gently? 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 looked 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 in the eyes and smiled weakly. Once lose sight of you and you come back so destroyed. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 hitched his breath. He turned even more red. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 hummed. He let go of 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's arm and was about to get up when 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 grabbed a hold of his wrist. They looked deeply into each other's eyes and remained silent. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's gaze flickered from one eye to the other and he just couldn't hold back anymore. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 leaned forward, grabbed the collar of 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's sweater and pressed his lips against 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 frowned, but returned the kiss. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 leaned back and pulled 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 with him, not breaking the kiss. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 was now lying half over 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅, but still propped up on the couch with his elbows. What first started off innocent, sweet and soft, soon turned into a full heated makeout session. Everything felt so hot. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 could feel 𝒖𝒆𝒅's heat. He could feel how much they both wanted this kiss. He could feel how much passion was behind it. Both wanted each other so badly. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 tilted his head to deepen the kiss, but suddenly 𝒖𝒆𝒅 pulled away and stared into 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅's eyes in amazement. Both panted. Carver. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 couldn't keep it to himself any longer. This just felt so right. 𝒖𝒆𝒅 frowned, lowered his gaze, and tried to clear his throat. He was obviously overwhelmed. Iwa-chan, I still love you. 𝒖𝒆𝒅's gaze snapped to 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅, looking at him somewhat surprised. Carver. His voice cracked. 𝒖𝒆𝒅's face was dyed in a dark shade of red. He cleared his throat once again and straightened up. Carver. I don't know what I feel for you. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 was hit with shock. He now realized what he had just done. Panic rose in him. Fuck. What the hell have I done? 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 stood up and slapped his hand on his forehead. His eyes were wide open. He was panicking inside. Fuck. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. It's okay. Fuck. Shit. I better go now. Okay. 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 almost ran for the door and left a completely perplexed 𝒖𝒆𝒅 behind. They were both red-faced and confused by what had just happened. Carver, please don't worry, okay? 𝒖𝒔𝒆𝒅 blushed and then left 𝒖𝒆𝒅's apartment. He pulled the door shut behind him and ran outside. After a few steps, Ikuo stopped. His heart was still racing and he wanted to sink into the ground. Ikuo was shaking. His heart dropped into the pit of his stomach. He just wanted to disappear. Didn't I say to Maki the other day that I would keep my feelings to myself? Shit, what did I do? Ikuo walked towards the hotel and texted his friends. He was still trembling. In the hot setters chat. Guys, this is an emergency. I need your help. Like, now. Carver? What happened? I kissed Iwaizumi. Sugar started a video call.